Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you're new here, hi, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and just want to extend a very warm welcome to all the new faces here. I think that a lot of you came over thanks to the upcoming Drills and Chills community event. More on that later. So welcome to you, and of course, if you are back, welcome back. I'm very glad that you're here as well. Today I am hopping on to join you all for a WIP and Chat. WIP stands for work in progress, so any projects that you might be working on, I'll be doing a diamond painting, and chat means we're gonna chat and catch up a little bit. So feel free to whip out your WIP and let's catch up a little bit. First things first, I know, look, I had an incident with my hair straightener and it's fine. There's just, you know, healing blister, diamond painting, don't really mix. So let me tell you really quickly what all I am using tonight. So the project I'm working on, this is Clockwork Dragonling from Diamond Art Club. I haven't even posted a start picture of this piece on my Instagram yet. And I'm already like over a fifth of the way through it because lots of color blocking. But this is the piece, this is the artwork. This is by the fabulous Jasmine Beckett Griffith, aka Strangeling. And normally, to be totally frank with you, this artwork is not my style. But something about this one, like the steampunk vibes, like just the look of that like little clockwork dragon there, I was feeling it. And I also thought that given the timing of when this was released by Diamond Art Club, which was just a week or two ago, I thought that I might get it in quickly enough that I could work on it for the JBGalong, the Jasmine Beckett Griffith Along event that Lindsay over at Emeralds and Fairy Lights and Shay over at Crafting with Shay are putting on for the month of July. And this is a round row kit with lots of color blocking. I think I might be able to finish it before the end of the month. And I just really enjoy supporting my friends and thought, sure, why not? Other things that I'm using, this is a pen from Bella's Diamond Painting Pens. I think I got this one in one of her Etsy drops, but I just really like the metal mesh in it and the rainbow effects and everything. I am using, this is a tray from Muni Made. I don't remember the exact name of this one, but it's like one of the glittery gold ones. This minder was a gift from Sandra West and is just beautiful. I thought it fit the colors and the theme of this piece really well. This is from, I believe, Siobhan Cover Minders on Etsy. I am using Sensible by Design Scented Putty in my multi-placer, and I am still testing out WeWax 3.0. This is a tester that Laura over at Anxiety Art Adventures sent to me. She's working on the 3.0 formula. This is in the Gummy Bear scent. She should be releasing the first round of the 3.0 waxes for sale the first Friday in August. Spoiler, I'm loving it so much. I'm absolutely loving it. It's lasting a lot longer than any of the other WeWax formulas that I've used, and it's not leaving much in the way of residue, and the smell is just fantastic. And I love that Laura uses organic ingredients, and it's really nice. I just love leaving it open and smelling it while I work. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, and the very last thing I was just gonna mention, I am using a thin metal multi-placer. This is from the Sleepy Cat store on AliExpress. If you're interested in any of the things, please take a look down in the description below. I will do my very best to link to all of these and their respective shops and locations in the description below, so you can take a look there. But let's go ahead and get started. I will likely finish this section before too long, and we'll have to do a whole thing where we are flipping the canvas around so I can go to the other half. But let me grab a color and let's get started. So, look at all this color blocking white I'm about to do. Not terribly exciting for you to watch, but that is all right. How are all of you doing this evening? Here it is Sunday evening, and it's a little quiet in the house. The boys are in bed. I just put my kiddos to bed. If you're new, I have two little boys. They are 3 and 6, and they keep me on my toes, and I adore them with my whole heart. but they are in bed, they're tucked in, and Adam is currently out with a friend. We spent some time with some really close friends of ours today, and we actually sort of divided and conquered. Adam spent some time with the husband, I spent some time with the wife, and it was just one of those sorts of evenings. Sometimes we hang out as couples, and sometimes we just want to have like girls and guys nights. I think I need to refill this, just kind of top off this scented putty just a tiny bit. So yes, it's quiet. Adam isn't home yet, so I thought I'll see if I can go ahead and record. And I felt like I had the energy for it. Oh, before I dive into the rest, I know I have lots I want to talk about, but I do not want to forget. I need to share some thank yous with a couple of people that bought me a coffee this week. Now, when I say bought me a coffee, I don't mean literally bought me a cup of coffee, but I have a service available for any viewers that want to support my channel in an additional way. Sorry, words are hard tonight, you guys. They're usually hard for me, to be fair. So I use something called Buy Me a Coffee. A number of other creators use this service as well. It's a really nice option, like I said, for people that want to support creators, but don't necessarily want to have a monthly subscription service. So I do have that though. I have a Patreon, but please do not sign up for my Patreon right now because of the way that the billing system works with Patreon. If you sign up at the end of the month, like if you signed up today, Patreon would bill you, Patreon, not me, this is on Patreon's end. Patreon would bill you the full month's amount today, and then would bill you again on August 1st. So please don't sign up for my Patreon until it's like towards the beginning of the month. Anyway, so a couple of people bought me coffees this week, and I just want to share thank yous, which is what I do with those that buy me coffee. So first, Stephanie Myers bought me a coffee, and I don't have the full note in front of me tonight, unfortunately, but she just left a really, really sweet message and mentioned that she has, I believe, a 9-week-old, which, oh my goodness, Stephanie, hang in there. I promise it's going to get easier. I know those sleepless nights too well, and I hope that you're getting the chance for some rest and self-care. But Stephanie, thank you so much for buying me a coffee and supporting my channel. That means the world to me, and from one mom to a mother, one mom to another. You're doing a really fantastic job, and cut yourself lots of slack and hang in there. Also, Jade, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce the name that she spells out, Jadekins, or Jade the Tailor. She has a YouTube channel and an Instagram. She's very, very sweet. Jade bought me 2 coffees and said she just wanted to stop by and say a thank you. And thank you so much, Jade. I appreciate your ongoing support and encouragement. So yes, thank you so, so much to both of you for buying me coffees this week. I feel well caffeinated. Okay, so other things that are going on. So drills and chills. I want to talk about it, but first, I need to not neglect the event that I already currently have going on. It's, you know, we don't have any videos currently going up for it, but it's technically still going on. Jessica at Tiny Worlds of Wonder and I, yes, we are hosting Drills and Chills together, but we've also been hosting an event this summer together called Summer with the Masters. It's been an event that's entirely focused on artwork that's from before the year 1926 and is therefore a part of the public domain. And that event ends here in just a couple of weeks. So if you're still working on kits for that event, or if your kits just came in for that event, I know there were some unexpected delays with a few different people. You do not have to finish a kit in order to be eligible for the grand prize for that event. Just be sure to fill out the Google form, please. We don't want you to miss out on being entered not only for the grand prize, but being able to be a part of our highlight reel in our grand finale video here at the end of the event. So that ends on August 14th. And then on September 1st, we get to kick off Drills and Chills together. I'm very, very excited to get to be a part of this event, which this is the 3rd year for the event. And as I mentioned, I was just so touched and floored when Jessica reached out to me and asked if I wanted to co-host the event with her this year. So I'm really excited to get to be a part of it. Jessica put up her announcement video for the event just yesterday. Today is Sunday, so 2 days ago for you watching it on Monday. And I am really excited that she got that video up that has, goes over lots of the details and put together some slides that also capture the details in writing for those of you that are visual learners like me. I've posted those over on Instagram. Jessica has shared them as well. I should probably go ahead and create a Drills and Chills 2021 playlist where you guys can follow along with the videos that are happening with that. Now, I will also have a video going up just because we want to make sure that we don't miss anyone, that we reach as many people as possible. And while I think there's a decent amount of overlap between our two channels as far as subscribers and viewers go, it's okay. We'll play it totally safe. So I had wanted to have my announcement video up this past weekend as well, but unfortunately I haven't had the sort of week that has allowed me to do much of anything really. And I suppose I'll go ahead and just address it up front in case that's why any of you are specifically here. I know I've been a bit unexpectedly MIA and radio silent. I had originally intended to have a few different videos up last week. I have a million unboxings to do, and I even have a couple of things pre-filmed, but had also wanted to have up my Drills and Chills announcement video on Saturday, and I didn't have the kind of week for that. There's a little bit of a weird tension for me that goes into, that comes with having a platform with a large audience, or just having any sort of public platform at all, large audience or no. And where this is a space where historically I share very openly and very vulnerably about what's going on in my life, and I'm a huge advocate for things like mental health and ending the stigma with that, and just making this feel like a space where I'm authentic and not afraid to be imperfect and be messy. There's a tension between my heartfelt desire for that and being in a really tender and raw place personally, going through things that I'm not really in a place where I can share about those things publicly because they're so intensely personal and painful. I will, go ahead. I'll say this much. I'm safe. My family is safe. Like we're there, nothing, no one's at risk or anything like that. I promise. We just have had a lot going on. And because of that, I haven't had the time, and I haven't had the mental energy. Like I haven't even really been able to open Instagram. I feel like I'd start to open it and there was something that was just so overwhelming about even just opening it and starting to glance at my feed just to look through. And it was so overwhelming. I just had to close it right away. I absolutely could not. I wasn't able to respond to comments. I wasn't able to put up videos, even the ones that I had pre-filmed. It just kind of felt like my life was falling apart. I feel like I hope that I'm in, on the way back up at this point, but I promise I am not being vague on purpose or in some sort of plea for attention. It's not something I can share about right now. I hope that you still hear that I'm here. I'm gonna keep, trying, and we're just gonna take it one day, 1 week at a time. And I am hopeful that I'll be able to find a better balance. This is a space that has been so good for me in terms of just being a place where I feel like I have an outlet. I have something that I thoroughly enjoy and helps me de-stress and connect with other people. But when I am going through something really difficult, some turmoil, and even like I really think I'm struggling with some intense depression at this point. I isolate so hard, even when I know that that's like the last thing that I need. I just shut down. So for even this space where this has been diamond painting, and having a channel has been a place where I get to find relief from my anxiety, and sort of it helps my mental health. To not even be able to reach for that has been tough in its own way as well. But like I said, I'm in a place where I hope I'm finding some more balance, and I really, really hope you guys will stick around and just bear with me, and as much grace as you can give me. You guys are fantastic about that. And I won't continue belaboring the point, I suppose. But look, all that weight's done. I will say this will likely be a little bit shorter WIP and Chat than usual, just because the things that have been most prevalent on my mind are things I am not comfortable sharing about at the moment, but I do have other things to talk about. So like I said, I thank you so much for the ongoing encouragement and kindness that you show me. It means the world, even if I'm not able to respond directly and tell you as much. So let's see what else we have going on. So the break that I took last week was not planned. That's okay though. And I have things in mind to share this upcoming week. I've had a lot of diamond painting orders come in that I'm eager to share with you all. My Craftably pre-orders came in. I have a couple of new shops that I'm excited to unbox and share with you. I think it'll be good. I'd love to hear your thoughts on something. Are you interested in seeing a post review from me on the kit Pride? And on the kit Pride, it's a Diamond Art Club kit. The artist is JoJo's Arts. I shared the finish just primarily over on Instagram, and I was debating doing a post review for that kit because I made a number of changes to it. I added a ton of ABs, which normally that's not what I would do. I'd like to not go overboard on ABs, but there were a couple of different things about this kit that really they just needed it. They needed that extra glitz. And if you saw it over on Instagram, then you most likely know what I'm talking about. But I didn't know if you guys would be interested to see a post review where I also share about just what my process looks like for adding enhancements to kits. Now, that particular topic, that's, I think a lot of creators have done videos on their approach to adding enhancements to kits, which enhancements is like special drills, like either ABs or sparklers or crystals or those kinds of things. So I don't think this is some grand original idea, but just in case you were curious about seeing my process for this kit in particular, I don't know. I feel like I could try to whip up a little post review for that particular kit if you guys are interested. that was a really, really enjoyable kit to work on, and all those colors just made me so happy. I was nervous that this kit, this Clockwork Dragon Link, I was nervous that I was going to be like just kind of bleh about, there's a lot of grays up here at the top. But as it turns out, since it's pure color blocking in that first row that I did, I finished the entire like first row in just a day. And I didn't even diamond paint as much as I sometimes do in an evening. But yeah, so I'm glad that I got through like all the grays relatively quickly, and oops. And now I just get to, like, I get into a little bit more colors. The downside of that is there will be a bit more confetti, so it's gonna go slower. What was I going to say? Okay, so let me tell you about this absolutely obnoxious, rage-inducing story that happened earlier this week. And if you happen to be a part of my Patreon and watched my weekly vlog, you have already heard the story, but I'm going to tell it again because it just, like, my blood still boils when I think about it. So, let me set the context. So, my kids are both in summer school right now, and they go to 2 different schools for summer school just because of how it worked out. They're both in special ed, preschool and kindergarten programs. And so they were just placed at the summer school programs that best fit their respective needs and grade levels. If that makes sense. So they're at 2 different schools with 2 slightly different schedules. So I spent a lot of time in the car basically being a taxi service. And so I was going to be going to pick up Micah from school, and I ended up leaving late because I was having a really terrible morning. Like, it was like the start of like the worst part of like one of the worst weeks of my life, basically. And so I was a little bit late getting away because that's when I was finally able to sort of duck away from that conversation. I was like, I'm already gonna be 5 minutes late, like I have to go. And so I was, racing up to Micah's school, and yes, I was, spoiler, I was 5 minutes late pulling into the parking lot. And yeah, surprise, like I am not a perfect parent or person or what have you. I'm like incredibly far from perfect. I was 5 minutes late to pick up my child from school. And when I got there, the way that it's set up is that they have this main gate where you pick up your kiddos, pick up and drop off your kiddos. And basically Micah was like one of the only kids left to be picked up. And he was not thrilled about it. Like, generally, just by the end of the day, Micah is cooked. Like, he's done. He just wants to get home and unwind. I don't blame him. That's how I feel at the end of my day, too. Sorry, quick drink of water. So anyway, Micah sees my car pull into the parking lot. I see, like, the teacher that is holding him and waiting at the gate, and Micah sees my car and immediately is like, starts to cry because he's like, Mom, like, you're here, where were you? Kind of thing. Micah's he's not really talking. He's pretty speech delayed, and we're on a whole waiting list to get into private speech therapy on top of the speech he's getting through the school district. It's a mess. Anyway, not the point. I can tell Micah is very, very upset. Now, the way that the parking lot is that you drive up to the school, you kind of pass by the main gate on your right, you have to overshoot it and drive up another, 100, 200 yards before you get to like the official parking spots. Normally, on a normal day, I will just, of course, like go park in a parking spot like a normal person, get out of my car, go pick up Micah. Usually there's, enough people in the parking lot or Micah's not quite out yet, that like he doesn't notice my car, so it's not a big deal that I've like essentially driven past him in order to go and park. So I decide, I look around. Again, there's like there's no other cars like driving in the parking lot at this point. There's a few cars parked or whatever, I think teachers' cars. You know, there's maybe one other student that's waiting to be picked up. And so I thought, this is not what I would normally do. I am just going to, instead of making my child continue to cry and be distressed because I am overshooting where he is, to go and park in a parking spot and then having to sprint back and get him before he loses his ever-loving mind, I'm just gonna pull off to the side, like, of the little, like, double driveway that, like, goes past this area. I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna pull over to the side. Just, you know, it's fine. There's, like, no one else here. So I do that. No, I'm not in a parking spot. Can you see like what I'm leading up to here? No, I'm not in a parking spot. And I pull over to the side, I hop out, I run up and get Micah. He's upset and doing that like the lip quiver, like I'm feeling like, great, mom of the year. Like my child is super upset because he saw all of his friends get picked up and I'm 5 minutes late to get him. The mom guilt was super strong. Anyway, so I soothe him. He settles relatively quickly. He's fine. I thank the teacher for hanging and apologize for being late and just think, okay, I'm just gonna get this poor kid home. Also, I need to get home because I still feel like upset about how my morning has gone, completely unrelated to this. And so I walk Micah back to the car. I get, you know, I've settled him down, given him hugs, kisses. He's fine. So I start buckling him into his car seat. Like, okay, let's get on home. I noticed that a car has, you know, pulled up kind of behind me, but like stopped a little ways back and like is clearly like the car is in park. The driver is on their phone. Like it looks like they're waiting basically to pick someone up. And the way that we're both pulled over, like there's plenty of space. Like if someone else were to have driven up, they could have gone around our cars. We're not really blocking anything. Okay. I'm buckling Micah into his car seat. And as I'm partway through doing that, I hear a voice behind me. Someone's talking and says something like, "Getting all buckled in there?" And I'm thinking like, oh, it's, you know, one of the teachers leaving or whatever that maybe heard Micah upset and just, you know, came by to make sure that I'm okay or whatever. And, but, you know, I'm like facing into the car trying to get Micah all buckled in so we can head home. But, you know, I stop what I'm doing and kind of, you know, turn so I can look at the person that's kind of come up behind us and say, yeah, almost buckled in, almost good to go. And this lady, this woman, let's call her Karen for reasons that will shortly be explained. Karen says, okay, next time I'm gonna need you to park in a parking space because you're holding up the flow of traffic, and I'm gonna need you to park in a parking spot next time, even if you're late. I wish you could see my face right now. You guys, I could not believe what I was hearing. She says this to me. I'm concerned that I am legitimately holding up a flow of traffic that I've somehow missed. So I look behind me. The only car that's there is the same car that was there a couple minutes ago. Still in park. Driver's still doing her thing on her phone, not even looking at us. I glance at her. I glance back at Karen and say, okay. Like, and then she just kind of said, yeah, she like gestured as if I didn't know where the parking spots were. She's like, yeah, I'll need you to park in a parking spot next time again. Okay. I was so shocked. Like, I wish if I hadn't been so utterly flabbergasted at what was happening, like in disbelief that like at the level of petty that was happening to my face right then and there. Oh, the sassiness. Oh, the sassiness that would have come out of my mouth. And I even like double checked, confirmed that there were miles of space on the other side of my car, that if a car had come up and needed to get around, it would have been extremely easy, like stupidly easy. I wish I could tell you, I'm not gonna say it here, the number of swear words that came out of my mouth, like after I finished loading Micah into the car, drive away. And the way this school parking lot was set up is I had to like kind of go up and do a loop and like double back around in order to actually leave, because it's like a closed loop parking lot, if that makes sense. So I get into my car and I drive away and I do the little loop around and I look, and just to see, because I was so mad, I was so angry, I was so upset. I look and see, and the car that had been parked behind me is not only still there, obviously I wasn't blocking them, not only are they still there, but now like a student or someone is loading into that person's car. They were doing the exact same thing that I did. And I glance, and the Karen that was talking to me, being condescending and patronizing and unnecessarily rude, like kind of glances at that car, and oh, you best bet I was waiting to see, like, you're gonna go say something to them too, right? Nope. Just kind of glanced at them and just kept walking. Oh, the rage. The rage. I thought, this chick, who I have a sneaking suspicion was the principal of the school. Summer school doesn't happen at my kids' home schools, thank goodness, because if it did, I'd be looking at a transfer, because I don't need like the principal of the school that my kids go to like be this level of petty. I just, oh my gosh, I was fuming, absolutely fuming. I could not believe what had just happened. And maybe if I hadn't been having like an epically shitty day, like maybe I would have just sort of shrugged it off and laughed, but no, like I was having such a terrible day that I just was, there were so many F-bombs I was letting fly in my car. Thank goodness Micah doesn't seem to be absorbing and repeating. I was so just, are you kidding me right now? Like what, why? Were you on was she on a power trip? Like, and I am, maybe it's because like I am such a type A rule follower. It's a big deal like if I break a rule. Like even something as simple as like not parking in a parking spot. Like I just feel like this situation didn't really feel like I was breaking some like cardinal, like I wasn't committing like a cardinal sin, like breaking a major rule. Oh, people. Sorry about that interruption. I was not expecting my husband just got home, except he brought his friend with him, and I guess we forgot to tell them to drive the friend home because Rachel already went home with, never mind. It just, anyway, Adam is taking the friend home, so he'll be back probably in 10 or 15 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna, I won't go for too much longer, but anyway, I just, oh man, what a day that was. And I couldn't believe that happened to me. So that was kind of the ridiculous event of the day, of the week, that, you know, I can share about, but oh well. On the other hand, things that have been going well, we've taken a couple of family walks in the evenings. And we found this, there's this little park that is walking distance kind of around the corner. Actually, it desperately needs to be fixed up and updated. I think that the city is planning to do so, actually. But like literally, it's such a safety hazard, you guys. There's literally something happened and there's no slide there anymore. But they didn't like rope off the top like where you'd get on the top of the slide. It just, there's like the place that there's like a walkway and then there's just an opening into air and like a 6-foot drop. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a safety hazard. Oh my gosh. So here's hoping they really get that fixed up soon. But we are trying to practice with Micah with sort of like being in public again and being able to walk without causing like a huge, I don't know, thing, because Micah's our runner. He's such a wild card. And we're going to Disney World, COVID allowing, next month, actually in just a couple of weeks. So we're trying to practice with him just the idea of like holding a hand and walking and staying near us and whatnot, because I really don't want to lose my child at Disney World. You know? We're probably getting like a backpack leash for him, and I'm gonna have to like rewatch that Modern Family episode. Man, it's been forever since I've watched Modern Family, but yeah, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so yeah, I feel like I need to get one of those leashes to practice with him on a backpack leash as well. Because I think he's gonna have a hard time with waiting in line in particular. I need to flip my canvas. I think he's gonna have a really hard time with waiting in lines at Disney World. We're just gonna be in the parks for a couple of days. But I still, like, I want that time to be enjoyable. And having to chase after Micah nonstop will make it difficult to enjoy that. So anyway, all this to say, we decided we'd start doing these like family walks, and that can sort of be Micah's practice at like being in public. Look how pretty that is. So here's what I have done so far if you want to look. Like I said, lots of grays and color blocking at the top. Look at these butterflies. These butterflies have these really beautiful ABs in them. And oh my gosh, the sparkle on Diamond Art Club. Glorious. I'm not gonna work for too much longer, but I did want to just go do a little bit more with you guys. This is gonna easily be the most confetti heavy section I've had to work on yet, but that's okay. I'm glad to get into like some more interesting subject matter. Confession time, totally unrelated. And this I feel like is a real confession. So I saw someone post about how Netflix got all of the Twilight movies back on. I don't know if I feel like they had them at one point. Anyway, they got the entire Twilight saga on it. And I don't know what it is. I think because this past week was so awful for me, I just wanted some like ridiculous light background noise. So in like 2.5 days, in 2 days probably, like yeah, over the course of just 2 days, I watched like all of the Twilight movies that were the whole series on Netflix. And I recognize like how problematic they are. Trust me, I absolutely do. But there was something that was just like, it was nice to just watch something really light and ridiculous. But has anyone else watched those movies now that they're all on Netflix? Like either in like diehard fan fashion or in, I don't know, to make fun of, I suppose. Because I've done both before. And no shame, if you like, you like what you like, that's fine. If you're a huge Twilight fan, more power to you. I love it for you. But yeah, that was a fun little trip down memory lane, because I think a couple of those I only ever watched just once or twice. Because I don't think we own any of them or anything. But anyway, things coming up this week. I have a bit of a to-do list that I want to work through. I have a lot of phone calls that I need to make, just getting some stuff squared away. Like, I'm going to call my doctor, my primary care physician, and see if I think I might need to consider like increasing or changing the meds I'm on for my anxiety. I want to ask if it's if that's like the most helpful thing to use for depression, because I think the depression may be something I'm struggling with more of at the moment. But I'll just talk to my doctor about it. It's the kids' last week of summer school. Then they have essentially the month of August off, and then go back to school at the very end of August and start the regular school year. So we'll do Disney World mid-August, and then my mom will be out here, which will be really nice to see her. And then this is not sticky anymore. And then before we know it, the kids will be in school. It'll be nice to settle into a bit of a routine once they're in like a regular school schedule. I want to start maybe like swimming in our neighborhood, like our community. We have an HOA in our pool. Like, I think that could be a nice way to get some exercise without like, I hate feeling my own sweat. I think it's so gross. It makes me enjoy exercising so much less. So I might try just sort of swimming for exercise here, at least this week while my kids are in school. And YouTube wise and even Instagram wise, it's going to be rather unpredictable for me, because I'm just trying to focus on taking care of like myself and my family. But very happy to report that I'm almost, I think, a month into my individual, like just my one-on-one talk therapy. I really feel like I'm clicking well with my therapist for the moment, and I'm very grateful for that, because I feel like there's a lot I need to unpack and talk about, and I appreciate that so much. I feel like having a YouTube channel, doing WIP and Chats, can be its own sort of form of therapy and processing and whatnot, but gosh, there's something about talking with like a professional that just really helps sort of sort out and make sense of the mess, the brain fog, just everything that's going on in your brain that can feel like very, very overwhelming to sort through. So I highly encourage, if you feel like you could use extra support like that. I know how hard it can be just to even find the time or the energy to seek that out. But I just want to send some extra encouragement your way, that if you've been on the fence about that sort of thing, maybe this is a little nudge for me to go ahead and seek out that extra help, because it's made a really big difference for me, and I really wish that I would have been able to bring myself to get into it sooner. Like, really, really badly wish I could have just buckled down and done it. But we all do the best that we can, and I'm thankful that I'm in it now. And I hope that if you feel that you need extra help and support, that you feel like you have that. Another drink of water. I think I'm gonna wrap up here shortly. I think Adam is probably going to be home here in just a couple minutes. I'll chat with him a little bit. But I am, we're actually managing to get to bed like at a bit of a better time than we had been. And I think that's been good for me, but I feel like I have a lot of sleep to catch up on because I had a lot of like sleepless nights and stuff. So playing some catch up on sleep, and I guess I'll just say that if you are the sort of person that has spiritual beliefs, and if you like to pray or send good vibes and you have any to spare, I would be so very grateful for those. So very grateful for those. And also just want to leave just sort of my comments open for if you're in a space where you feel like you need prayer or good vibes or just happy thoughts and virtual hugs. Feel free to share as much in the comments. Or my email is open, though admittedly I've not been great about responding to my emails lately, and I do apologize for that, but I do read them and I am thinking of you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up, but I apologize that this WIP and Chat was, again, I know I give you guys whiplash sometimes, that this was a little bit more on the emotional side, but I hope that you enjoyed the absolutely ridiculous story of that person at Micah's school this past week, and just felt my rage with me. But yeah, I do want to thank you so very, very much for being here and being a part of my little corner of the internet. And I'm really, really looking forward to getting back to having some fun content for you guys. I'm really excited for what Drills and Chills is going to look like this year, and thrilled that I have such a fabulous co-host that has been more than willing to run point and give me the time and space that I need to take care of my personal life this past week in particular. So Jessica, you are flipping fabulous, and I'm so grateful for you. And thank you to all of you that have just been reaching out and sending words of kindness and encouragement. I really, really appreciate it. But anyway, made just a little bit of a dent in this one. I might work on it just a little bit more tonight. Like, I want to finish this black outlining. There's so much 310 in this kit, and I'm looking down towards the bottom of the canvas and going, oh, that's where it's gonna be. Lots of outlining and confetti, but hooray for being able to do a kit from an artist I haven't worked on before and supporting the JBGalong. If you're interested in checking out that event or checking out either of the two hosts, who are both really wonderful ladies, I highly recommend you check out their YouTube channels. That's Lindsay over at Emeralds and Fairy Lights, and Shay over at Crafting with Shay. Definitely go and check them out if you're looking for some new diamond painting creators to follow along with. But yeah, thank you so much, ladies, for putting on this event, and I'm glad I can hop in here at the last minute and share a little support. So anyway, my friends, be sure to let me know down in the comments how you have been this week. And if you manage to make it all the way to the end, why don't you leave a, let's see, in honor of the socks that I'm wearing, is this Stardust? I think it's Stardust, yeah. My Stardust socks, leave some sort of space emoji, whether it's, you know, moons, stars, planets, the little like sprinkly glitter, whatever you want to call it. This is one of my favorite socks by far. I love my socks bracelets so much. Anyway, yeah, if you made it all the way to the end, give me one of those. Let me know how you're doing down in the comments, and ways that I can be sending good thoughts your way and thinking of you. I really hope you'll be joining us for Drills and Chills, which, by the way, I did start up the Facebook group for that and have a couple of really fantastic mods that are helping me out with making that group run smoothly. So if you're participating in Drills and Chills and want to be a part of the Facebook community as well, please go and check it out. Be sure to answer all of the questions. You'll need to do that in order to be accepted to the group, and I'll link to the group below if you want to check it out. But I think I will leave it there for real this time. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end and you're not already subscribed, you might like it here. It's usually a bit lighter and more fun than in this particular video, but yeah, feel free to subscribe, and you can hit the bell to be notified when I share new videos, which is typically a few times a week, but is going to vary for the foreseeable future. And yeah, hit the thumbs up if you like this video. I'll talk to you again soon. Have a good week, guys. Bye.